We have been gone for the last few days, and today is our first look at our garden after being gone for 6 days. We had some wonderful friends that were able to come here and water our garden, at least the beds that are not connected to our irrigation system, and also take care of our chickens. So today we are going to see what happened while we were gone. And I have a feeling we are going to have a lot of harvesting to do today just by kind of quickly looking at the garden. Oh my gosh, so many things have grown so much in just the last few days. And I am so excited to just walk through our garden and see what's going on. So come along with me as I take a walk through the garden and see the massive growth and all the things that we need to harvest and all that's happened in the last few days while we were gone. We're gonna get started over here by our berries. And I already see a lot of strawberries here that are ready. Oh, so exciting. So we're gonna harvest some strawberries here. Here's a good one. And I honestly, oh no, that one's bad. That one needs to go to the chickens. And I honestly don't know how long we're going to be able to be out here because it is thundering and I think it's going to rain. We have a couple that are bad. Oh, that's gross. Well, the chickens will be happy. Oh, another one. Oh, this was so good. It would have been a huge one, but nope. That one went bad. Well, I guess we have a lot of bad ones. Here's a good one. Here's another good one. So here are the raspberries, and oh my goodness, these are falling over. I'm actually concerned. The canes look like they're gonna snap. So we need to do something about that soon. Some of these raspberries, look kind of dark. Maybe it's because they're a little overripe. Yeah, maybe a couple of these will go to the chickens. But I think there's going to be a few good ones that we're going to be able to harvest. Wow. This one is definitely loaded with raspberries, which is exciting, but like I said, this cane is bending so much. I'm afraid it's either going to snap or it's going to pull away from the soil. I don't know. We need to do something about that. And over here in this plant, we have more. Again, these very dark red ones. I think it just means that they're very ripe. I think they're still good though. I don't see any bad parts. Like this one, for example. That one doesn't look very good, so that one's going to go to the chickens. And we officially have our first blackberry that's ready. So exciting. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. These ones are going to be ready probably in a couple of days. We got to go inside because it is starting to pour. So here we are at the green stalk, and we have some really good strawberries here, but we also have some bad ones. And just going to collect the bad ones and give them to the chickens. Like this one. I really don't know why this happens. Like they get really gross. I don't know if it's because we just didn't harvest them in time or something is wrong with the plant itself. But this is exciting because we have a ton of strawberries right now. berries in general. Actually, we're harvesting a lot, and this is a lot of fun. But there's so much more to see. We just got started. I don't know if we're going to be able to do everything we want to do today, but we definitely need to harvest some things for dinner. I think we're going to need to harvest some green beans for dinner and some tomatoes. But other than that, I don't know if we can do anything else. I think we're all set with these strawberries here, but really, really good harvest of berries, and it's really exciting. This is the biggest berry bowl we've gotten this season. We do pick berries almost every day, but it's just like a handful of berries. But we actually have a bowl, so I'm really excited. We have raspberries here, strawberries, and our first blackberry of the season. Look at this, you guys. This is insane. We have so many green beans to harvest from this plant, which is the long green beans, but also from this other pole bean over here. And you guys can see some of these are getting too big. So we definitely need to harvest them right now. We're going to eat them today. And if some of them are just too seedy, we're gonna leave them and let them turn to seed. So I'm just gonna harvest as much as I can. This is not supposed to be a harvest video, you guys, but I can't help it because we came out here just to see what we would find out here in the garden, and we realized we have so much to harvest. And like I said, we're not going to be able to harvest everything today, but it's necessary that we harvest a lot of these because otherwise they're going to get really overgrown. I don't even know how this happened. We were only gone for 6 days, and we harvested like the day right before we left. And a lot of these are just far too big. It's insane. We did, now that I remember, we did fertilize a couple of days before we left. Maybe that also affected it, but these are big, and I hope they're not too tough. It's kind of intimidating to be in here. I don't like things dangling by my head because sometimes it makes me think it's like a bug or something. And a lot of these are just too big. I think some of these we're going to harvest and just give them to the chickens. The chickens really do enjoy them. So we'll do that. Man, these are just too big. Seriously. Some of these we just can't eat anymore. I'm trying to get as many as I can. But look at these. These normally don't get that long. They got really big. Okay, time to move on to the other green beans. And we're gonna harvest all we can. It is going to rain any minute, but we're gonna do what we can, and I wanna see how the green beans are doing over here. Look, you guys, right before our trip, we planted more bush beans, and I know I'm cutting it close. It's just an experiment, and a lot of them came up. Not all of them, but that's okay. I am happy with what I'm seeing right here. This is very exciting. Now I'm going to move on to that bed and get harvesting. Wow, lots of green beans here. Again, some of them are a little too big. A little bigger than we like them, but they will work. Eesh, look at this one. I think it's still going to be okay. So much. Oh my goodness. I know we're gonna harvest pounds and pounds of green beans today. There is so much here. We had to call in reinforcements, so the boys are over here helping us as well, because otherwise it's gonna take us an hour to go through this whole um, row over here. We probably already have 5 pounds of green beans already, and we're just getting started. So this is exciting. You guys suggest we speed this thing up because raindrops are coming. Yes, it is gonna rain any moment, so we just want to go as quickly as possible. This is what our tomatoes are looking like. Wow, we have a lot of tomato to harvest again, which is great because we're going to be making more sauce. That's amazing. And our cherry tomatoes over here are just loaded, looking amazing. We're going to have the boys pick as many cherry tomatoes as possible. Wow, our Roma tomatoes over here are looking really good. They are ripening very well. We have a lot of tomatoes here that are ready to be harvested, which is perfect. This plant here looks like it's struggling with some kind of disease. And I guess that's just that time of year. Yeah. I think that one should go to the chickens. I just harvested all these Roma tomatoes from this bed. And there are still many that are going to be ready in the next couple of days. And our volunteer tomatoes, like always, very prolific, but also just a wild mess. So there's going to be a lot of harvesting from this area as well. These squash plants are looking a little sick. They have powdery mildew. Some of those leaves are dying. I'm sure they are infested with squash bugs. But the actual squash are looking really good. We have so many of these. Wow. So many of these, and they are huge. They're looking very good. Again, our cucumbers struggling, but we knew this even before we left for our trip. It was already struggling. But we do have some cucumbers that are ready to be harvested, which is exciting because we need them for dinner. We just got back today and we have nothing inside the house to cook. So we're actually going to harvest, and we are harvesting. Whatever we're harvesting today is for our dinner. So it is what we need to do. And I see lots of cucumbers, even little ones, which is exciting because even though this plant has some kind of disease, it is still producing, and we're gonna let it just keep going until it dies. In our zucchini patch, some plants are really struggling. I think that one's done. But I also see some zucchinis that are ready to harvest. There's a really good one right there. There's a couple more over there. Here's another one. I see at least 8 zucchinis that we can harvest today. I'm trying not to disturb the small one, because if I can, I would like it to grow a little bit more before we harvest it. And this is what our sunflowers are looking like. A lot of them are starting to really droop and dry up and form seeds, which is great. And this one over here just toppled over, and it's being supported by the trellis over here. But it's exciting. There's forming seeds, which is exactly what we wanted. This kale bed is bursting at the seams, but we're not even going to harvest these today. Probably tomorrow. We have a few of these red peppers that we can harvest. We like waiting for them to be red because they're just tastier. So I have a few of these in different parts of this bed. There's one right here. Oh, this is a big one. Perfect. Beautiful. There's one on the other side. I think I'm gonna have to go to the other side. This is our other zucchini bed, the one that I planted later in the season, and they are looking great. They grew so much in the last 5 days, and I even see some flowers in all of these plants, so that's very exciting. Hopefully, since I'm getting a fresh start with these plants, I'll try to stay on top of the powdery mildew and squash bugs. This other bed is another green bean bed that I planted later in the season as well. And these green beans are doing really well. I don't understand what happened over here. Same bed, same everything. Those green beans are just not growing very well. I don't know if it's because they get too much shade from these plants in the morning, or it could just be moles, voles that are underneath that are kind of messing up the root system. I don't really know. But these green beans are flowering very, very nicely. And some of them already have tiny little green beans. So I know that in just a few days, we are going to be harvesting from this bed as well. These carrots have grown so much. I love it. I am so excited. But I need to go through this and thin them out. I should have thinned them out weeks ago, but I didn't get to it. So now I have to do that. And same thing with these beets. I really should go through and thin them out. There are some that are just too small and they're not gonna let the other ones get big. But they have grown so much in just the last few days that we were gone. Some of these Sheboygan tomatoes are also ready to harvest, so I'm just gonna grab a few. Another really nice one. So we just came out here to check and see how the garden was doing, but we ended up harvesting a lot. That was not our intention. We just wanted to harvest whatever we needed for dinner because, like I said, we've been gone, so we have nothing in our fridge for dinner. And we ended up staying a lot longer out here. We got the boys to help, which was great, and we harvested a whole bunch of stuff. We didn't harvest everything. There is a ton of basil that needs to be harvested, and jalapenos and kale and more cucumbers and more zucchini. We are so grateful that we had friends that were willing to come over to our garden and take care of our chickens and water our plants. It was amazing. Without their help, we wouldn't have been able to leave our little homestead to be able to go on vacation. So we are forever grateful for that. And now it is time for us to go back inside and make use of our wonderful harvest and start making dinner. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you next time.